It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word.
We on a mission and that's bringing y'all the truth. You know the problem, but we get into the root. The devil watching, yeah, he always on pursuit. But Jesus is our rock, so we shall not be moved. We on a winning team, so we can't lose. We say facts, cause we hitting y'all with proof. Started from the bottom, now we standing on the roof. As God as our witness, we gon' make it to the moon. When you want the truth, the world be hiding it. This the real word, we providing it. We got Ace, BK, Truth, Rick Star, and we plan to make a movie like it's Pixar. We came a long way from the plantation. We just tryna save your souls from damnation. So if you down with the message, tune in every week. It will lead you to the message that you seek.
It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word.
Welcome to The Real Word. This is Season 9, Episode 11. Shout out to everybody who's been watching. Shout out to everybody who's been supporting us so far, thus far. Shout out to everybody that has continued to support everything that we're doing and everyone that continues to support the entire Real Word Ministries. My name is Ricard Gino, of course, and I am your host. Today I'm here dolly, but you know this is how we started from the very beginning. So I want to just take this moment out to thank everyone that's really been supporting The Real Word. As you guys all know, that we've had a lot of different changes throughout the history of doing The Real Word. The Real Word goes back, I would say, back to 2015, for those that don't know. That's when I did my first sermon called The Reincarnation of Ricard Gino Well. It's on YouTube. You can check that out. YouTube.com/Ricard Gino Well. You catch it over there. And it was me giving a synopsis of my life from when I first came to America to when I graduated college, undergrad, because that was around the same time. And I showed the role that God played in my life and me allowing the Lord to order my steps into becoming the person that I am today. So when I first started the company, you guys know I started with Sanders. Shout out to Sander Camo. And we had our ups and downs, and it didn't work out. You know, we continued the company. Shout out to Kamel, of course. He came on board. He helped us out a lot. Shout out to my brother, my sisters. Shout out to Adele. Also, she was on the board for a little bit as well. Shout out to Pastor Dr. Jacques Pierre, who made a great investment when we first started into the whole company. Shout out to Judith Suffren. She was one of the original people. And shout out to everybody. Shout out to Jennifer. Shout out to all the people that was on the board, all the people that looked out, all the people that partnered up with us. Too many to name. I don't want to leave any out. But shout out to my church, Herman SDA, formerly Jordan River, formerly La Wodise, always La Wodise Boys for Life. All the support that you all poured into us and you continue to show us that love, is much appreciated, and it didn't go unnoticed and it didn't go unappreciated neither. So, shout out to my parents, the people that supported me, and I still continue to help whenever they can and whenever they're able to do so, which is a huge blessing. To still have parents in your life, still have family that's supportive, people that surround, the people that came in your life for short periods of time, and people that came into your life for long periods of time. Even shout out to Ace. Ace was here for a few seasons, Shout out to Ace, and we wish you the best, man. He held it down for us a couple seasons as well. Shout out to Fabrice. Fabrice was here for a few episodes. Hope he's doing good too. Shout out to you, Fabrice. And all the people that came on the show and that passed through this platform throughout the years and that has been here supporting us. This wouldn't be what it is without you guys. This is Season 9, Episode 11. Shout out to my cousin Kels, free that man. We're going to say free that man until they free that man. Who's always been who's always been supportive of the things that we're doing, and that's always been positive, always there saying, yo, keep going, bro, don't give up. Keep going, bro, keep putting in that pain. And sometimes you need someone to give you that extra boost. Sometimes you gotta have someone in your corner that not everybody see, that's not visible to everybody, but that's there providing, support and, you know, cheering you on sometimes, because it does get difficult. People think because, you reach a certain level of success, or you reach a certain level, or you reach certain heights, that, you still don't deal with these same human emotions, these human interactions, and these things that, at times can be conflicting with you and your personal nature. But you have to just live with it and continue moving forward. I see after 10 episodes, this season has been more so about mental health. We've been having a lot of people, as you guys can see, from different backgrounds, with different places, coming on the real word, because one of the things we want to do is reach people from outside of our regular community. It's easy for us to just continue inviting people that look like us on the platform, speaking from one point of view, but we got to have a holistic view of everything that's going on, and we got to be able to speak to people from different backgrounds to get their input. We've been able to get people from Idaho, all the way to California, all the way to Spain, all the way from Russia, different countries and different places. Canada, shout out to Canada. I pulled up a lot. California been showing a lot of love. So shout out to California. And, we're just going to continue to push out that same energy, put in that same amount of work. We just sent out 175 donor letters. We'll see, hopefully, who gives something back or who shows something back. If you want to donate, is $therealwordinc on Cashapp, $therealwordinc, or PayPal Giving Fund, The Real Word Ministries, or just Google The Real Word Ministries Inc., and you will see what it is that we have done, and what it is we have to offer, and what it is that we're helping the community do. And you can see the past work that we've put in and everything that we've done within the community overall. So I could say that this year has been good so far. Last week I went to the founders dinner at Fordham University. Shout out to Fordham University. I'm a Fordham alumni. And, just being in those rooms that you always wanted to be in, and now you're in there, not for acceptance, but just to be in there to see how it is. I've always considered myself to be the spook that sat by the door, the stone that the builder refused. And to be those places and just to observe, to look at them, to study them the way they study us. You guys know they placed us in a project, which became a project, place a bunch of people that are in a low income situation, a volatile situation, and stack them on top of each other and see if they're able to survive, and see where they're able to go, or how far they're going to go, or how long they're going to last. Almost like putting a mouse in a maze and seeing if it'll make its way out. And that's what a project is. And me being able to be in these rooms and to study them now, look at them from afar with my hands in my pocket, studying them, and they're looking at me like, who is this guy, and why is he the one that's watching us if we're used to watching them? And, the reactions from them, the reactions even from, the different species and the, female, male interactions, and how they become so elated when you walk into the room. It's, it's very... It's very different, the perception from what we see in these low-income neighborhoods or in the hood, like most of us say, versus to, what we see in these other places, these places where they're raising $200 million a night. It's a whole different ballgame. And so I can say I've experienced a lot of different things in life, and I'm fortunate to do so. If I can say one thing that I did gain from the Real Word Ministries was experience. The ability to do things that I never thought that I was going to be able to do, and to be around people that I never thought that I was going to be able to be around. I mean, we've been around everybody from politicians to celebrities, to, front rows at sports games and things like that. But, those are just blessings and perks, but we put in a lot of work in order to get to that situation. And it's still a lot of work that we continue to put in every single day. And it's because of your guys' prayers, our parents' prayers, our mothers' prayers, and, just to continue positive energy, to continue to move forward. I can say that there's been a lot of things going on in the news that's making a lot of people, some people are upset, some people are depressed, people going through a lot of different emotions. A lot of people, inflation, it's something that a lot of us are dealing with, that a lot of us are feeling. I can say that we're not hopeless, a couple weeks ago there was a talent show at my job. Yeah, because I still work a 9 to 5. For full transparency, I do both. I have companies, I do ministry, and then I also have a 9 to 5. So we had a talent show for the people at a homeless shelter where I work at, because I'm a clinical director at a mental health facility. So I had a poem, because I was actually part of the talent show, and I had a poem that was written, homeless but not helpless. And I was like, regardless of your situation, you're not helpless as long as you're able to continue fighting, because you only lose when you give up. A lot of times we're quick to give up on things. We're quick to start over, hit the refresh button, instead of trying to save the things that, should be saving. But at the same time, it's the things that we are trying to save sometimes that could get us in some trouble. Oh man, let me get me some water. This is the real word, so you gotta keep it real with yourself. Oh, messed up the camera, see? Yeah, let me fix the camera a little bit. Give me some time. People, give me some time. That's good enough. But yeah, got thirsty. Then knocked down the camera. But yeah, like overall, you have to just continue to work on self regardless of the situations. A lot of people could go through difficult times in life, and those difficult times could sometimes make them, depressed, not want to deal with things. But it's your ability to overcome adversity that helps you to propel forward. And the more you're able to overcome adversity, it shows your more likelihood of success. And that's something I studied during my master's degree. And, even overcoming adversity during that time helped me a lot in life, Going through my separation and my marriage. I've never spoke about this online, but I'll speak about it now. Going through that situation during a global pandemic, and then, being in grad school and having a young child, being a part of the church, being an active part of the church and in your community, and running these companies and even doing this production, it at times became overwhelming to myself. And at any given moment, I could have quit, and I had enough reasons or excuses to quit. I had all these excuses to quit, and if I was to quit, no one could really fault me. Like, yeah, they could talk, but people have quit for less. But I did. And today I could say I'm able to provide tangible substances proving that during those times of adversity, I was able to overcome and was able to produce success. And trophies, right? Given to me by other people, awards, newspaper articles, the things that we actually did during those difficult times, In the last 2 years, we fed thousands of people, probably 5,000-10,000 people we fed. So this is something that we continue to do, and when we're doing it, we don't really think about it. Maybe years later when we're gone, they'll give us the respect for doing it, but we've did it for a long time, and there's not many people that has done it the way we continue to do it. But like I said, it's all to the glory of God, and it's all because of all the people that's been contributing, all the people that's been supporting, and all the people that continue to help. We didn't do it on our own, and we couldn't have done it on our own. Like I said, the real word, you could say, started back in 2015 when I started preaching. And from me preaching, a couple sermons went viral. From the sermons going viral, I then started doing the Facebook Live, just like how I'm doing like this, speaking by myself in a room, and people just started listening, And when people started listening, the Spirit started working, and I started reaching people from all around the world. And I said, what can I do with this energy? What can I do with this ability? What can I do with this skill? What can I do with this gift? What can I do with this power? And I didn't want to cast it to the wayside, Why would I want to do that? So that's when the real word was created, because not everybody is going to be willing to go into a church and sit and listen to someone speak for an hour that they can't connect with. People want to feel comfortable when they connect with you, and they want to feel that you're a real person that went through real situations with real feelings and real emotions. And you can be vulnerable, and you can sit there and talk and be honest with yourself and those around you. This started off as a thank you and it's getting into a moment of clarity, but I feel like it's just something that needs to be done and things that need to be said. I was speaking to a life coach today, and we was going through the different things in my life. Iron sharpens iron. I always gotta continue to work on self-mastery. And one thing that you could never not do is ask for help. And it's always good to get different perspectives of what's going on. I like to talk to different people from different backgrounds, and I also like to talk to people that don't know me. That way I can get a better outlook of it. It's not biased, unbiased. So speaking to a life coach from Idaho that was on the show last week, and speaking to him, I gave him a quick synopsis of biopsychosocial background of myself and the things that I'm doing in my social and personal and professional life. And we were just talking about many different things, and I was telling him, like, yo, at the end of the day, like, at times I feel like I've outgrown a lot of people around me, and it's ending in loneliness. And because of this loneliness, it's making me not want to continue to move forward. Then afterwards, I was speaking to my friend, speaking to Kamal, shout out to Kamal. He was like, yo, it's true what they say, it gets lonely at that time. I'm like, yeah, like when I go to these places sometimes, I have friends that can't really afford to like spend that, like they have it, but it's like, but even so, like I see that as an opportunity to meet people, to be in a room, and experience a feeling or a memory that's going to be with you forever. So that's how I'm looking at it. And you never know who you meet. They might look at it different. Like they might see it as a waste of time. And that's their mindset versus my mindset. And one thing Kamel said was like, those type of people, they're not trying to buy what you trying to sell. Like regardless of as much as you try to explain to them, they don't understand. And therefore you speaking to them for that long is just wasting your time. And the mentor said that at times, like, we're scared to outgrow people. We're scared to go to the next level. And so we hinder ourselves, or we self-sabotage, or allow those people to sabotage us so that we can continue to have them around us. And a lot of people, like, it's sad to say this, but a lot of people are bullshit niggas. Like, and, that's the best way I could put it. And the way I realized that is when I got into a position of power, when I started getting up in position. A lot of people that claim to know don't really know. A lot of people that claim to do don't really do. A lot of people that claim to be a certain way are not really that. And you don't really know until it's time when you put them in position for them to be that, and they can't. And you're like, man, you market yourself way different from what you actually are. And this is something that's become quite evident amongst our people, and it's hurting us. And we might not want to admit to it, but it is affecting us in a negative way. If we could just be honest with each other and not be so insecure and comparing ourselves to other people, we would be better equipped to continue to grow and build with one another. And I feel like that's what we lack. Instead of working together, we self-sabotage, or we sabotage each other, and it's hurting us. Like I myself, at times, I'm trying to build a village around, but it's like, not everyone's supposed to be in your village. Not everybody is supposed to come along with you. Not everybody's going to make it. Sometimes you're going to have to outgrow people. And sometimes it don't matter how long you've known this person or how long this person has been around. Sometimes when you get rid of them, or when they get rid of you, that's when you see that, man, like this person was holding me back. Or damn, I was holding this person back. Or damn, this person was able to do so much now that, there's that little distance between us. As sad as it to say, that's the reality sometimes, And I've had to experience that a lot in life. And to be honest with you, full transparency, I wasn't comfortable with that. Like I had friends since elementary school that we barely even talk anymore. And when I sit with people and I dissect these relationships over the years, like a lot of them are not good relationships. Like we have good moments, but we have a lot of bad moments, and sometimes it'd be more bad than good. And we tolerate people just so sometimes we don't be alone, and it really hurts us in the long run. Like it really starts to affect us in a negative way. And I'm starting now to learn that like sometimes you have more peace when you alone. Like, and peace I feel like is the most important thing. And sometimes like that peace costs you a lot. I'm starting to find inner peace. Like I'm starting to find my center. I'm starting to pray. I'm starting to understand patience. I'm starting to understand those around me through having patience and understanding. But that understanding and that patience came at a heavy price. I had to go through it in order to grow through it. So, now when everybody is yelling, I'm the one that's saying, all right, everybody calm down, because I know what that yelling could lead to. Some people want to act like, okay, like everything is nonchalant or regular. Like everyone goes through their problems. Everybody's going through their problems. Everybody's going through their issues, and it's affecting all of us. Like we went through a period where people were scared to go outside. We went through a period where people thought they were going to die. We went through a period where no one thought that they were going to live anymore. Yeah, ads. But, now it's like we're readjusting to reality. And some people are ready for it, some people are not. Like I was one of the fortunate people that was able to even continue to work during a pandemic. Some people didn't have that luxury. Some people like this some highlights from our old stuff that we was doing. Free food giveaway. There's a citywide hunger problem. There's a countrywide hunger problem. There's a worldwide hunger problem. Some people can't eat. But yeah, like we go through all these motions and emotions in life, and it's not up until we get out of that situation that we start to really understand like why we went through that situation, what we learned from that situation, and how that situation has improved us or helped us to grow. And it's me going through all these different situations in life that has helped me to be imputed with the knowledge to help others. But I pray that God looks after my people, my family, that we are protected and covering by His grace and His mercy. I would say that one of our biggest accomplishments thus far this year has been finally closing on a building. After 30 some odd years, we finally got a building. The unfortunate part is, human greed sometimes takes into play, mismanagement of funds, mishandling of funds, and selfishness, people looking out for each other, not the greater good of everyone. I started going to that church around 5 years old, and it took 30 years for me to get into a position to help my church to buy that church. What they couldn't do in 30 plus years, I did in 2.5 with the grace of God and the Holy Spirit. And now we have this building, we're trying to renovate it. And, I hope that it's a beacon of love and a beacon of growth in the community for all of those that contribute to it, for all those that helped, for all those that had love and understanding and understood what it was that we was doing and what it is that we was trying to do. That the dream is finally coming into fruition. But this is only the start, We now have the biggest SDA church in Canarsie, Brooklyn. But we don't want to just stop there. We want to be a beacon to the community. We want to be able to help people, We want to be able to give out food, distributions, like show love, give love, respect, and honor and mercy to those people, especially those that are going through difficult times, those that are suffering, those that continue to go through, the different trials and tribulations that life may bring at times, just to continue to give them that positivity, continue to provide them with that love, That right there is a blessing within itself. And I feel like that's one of the best things that we can do when it comes to that. That's one of the best things that we can provide to each other as human beings is love, understanding, being there for each other. As much as we go through these trials and tribulations knowing that we're not alone in it. And even when people are not around, the Holy Spirit still is with you. I'm starting to learn that, you know, because in life you can have people around you physically and you still feel alone. And I know we've all been there. I personally been there. You know, sometimes you could be in a room full of failures and feel out of place. Or sometimes you could feel, and you could be in a room and be like, damn, I need to get up out of here. And we all been there. We all felt that way. And, you know, as much as it continues to happen, we have to continue to move forward. You know, don't remain stagnant. Like, and I had to be reminded of that today. Like, I'm not responsible for everybody. I have to save myself first in order to even help everyone around me. And, you know, I'm not in a position to give up. Like, I have a child, I have a family, I have people depending on me. And, you know, I owe it to myself, and I owe it to all the people around me to continue being a positive role model. And, you know, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm perfect. I will never sit back here and say I'm perfect. I'll never sit back here and say I didn't make any mistakes. But I tried my best, and that's all that I was able to do, and that's all that I could do is try my best. And for someone that tried their best, I think I did okay. You know, I can't say I did everything, but I think I did okay. And I think that's what's important sometimes. Like, when you try, like, you know, when you put in that effort, when you put your best foot forward, and you just continue to stay positive even during times of negativity. Like, a lot of things has happened in life that could make you quit, or that could make you weak, that make you feel like, man, I don't want to go through this anymore. Man, I don't want to do this. Like I said, my church was trying to buy a building for over 30 years. And a lot of people came and went. A lot of people wanted to quit. A lot of people felt like, yo, I don't want to deal with this no more. These people playing games, and, you know, all the feelings and emotions that come with that. But, you know, eventually, like, God is working, you know? Like, God is working. Not eventually God's going to work. God is working the entire time. But eventually that miracle is going to manifest in the flesh for people to see. And so eventually it did. It took 30 some odd years, but it did. Like, that's a long time to you. That's not a long time to God. Like, it's almost like in the book of Exodus when the older Israelites had to go around the wilderness for years until they died off in order for the youth to inherit the church. And that's what happened. That's exactly what happened. Like, a lot of the old folks, they died during COVID. You know, COVID took them out. A lot of the people, they couldn't really make it or do it. But now, the youth really got it, you know? Like, I was a youth. I came up, you know, now I'm an elder. I'm in a situation where, like, I can help my church. And, you know, the real life Joshua, the real life Moses, the real life Yahshua, and Joshua and Yahshua, same person. You know, the Spirit was working. The Spirit is the same. So we could continue to just stay positive in the things that we're doing. You know, just stay continued in prayer. I know sometimes, like, it could be discouraging, especially when you hear negativity. Like, you know, it breeds contempt. A lot of people, like, they just like talking bad about you. Like, they expecting you to be perfect when they fall from it. But at the same time, you can't even focus on that. Because when you focus on that, that's when, you know, you let that negativity fester. You let that negativity grow. You got to stay positive, you know. Stay positive. Do things that makes you going to feel good. Do things that's going to, you know, get your heart pumping. Like working out, positive affirmations, listening to music, dancing, smiling. You know, the positive thing that's going to keep you up. That's going to keep you happy. That's going to keep the devil in tears. That's what I mean. Because, you know, there's a lot of negativity in the world. And if you focus on that, it's going to mess you up. It's better if you just focus on the positive things in life, you know? The things that, you know, the beautiful things in life. Like, the beautiful things. Life is beautiful. Like, when you start traveling, when you start looking around, experiencing new things, going new places, eating new food, being around new people, new smells. Like, that's the best thing in the world for me. Like, you know? Like, I like new experiences. Especially positive experiences, of course. Everybody likes positive experiences. Those are the things that's going to help you to grow. Those are the things that's going to help you to achieve and just continue to do the good things within life. And it's in man's nature to do good. As much as it's in man's nature to do bad, it's in man's nature to do good too. So, there's nothing wrong with doing something positive, especially within your community, with your people, with the things and the people around you. Like, I feel like that's one of the things that we need to focus on, the positive things instead of the negative things, because the negative things, I feel like, is hurting us a lot sometimes. Yeah, but outside of that, I could say that God has been good. Like, we've been through many trials and tribulations, yes, but God has been good to all of us. And we could just say that being a Christian is not easy, Being a leader is not easy. Being a husband is not easy. Being a man of God is not easy. Being a preacher is not easy. Being a businessman is not easy. None of it was easy. But God gave me all of them, right? And so every night I pray to God, I order my steps to help me with the difficult things in my life, because there's things in my life that's very difficult too. And so praying to God and asking for that anointing, asking God for that guidance, asking God for that understanding, it helped me a lot. So I would suggest that you all do it as well. Have positive affirmations in your life, continue to pray, continue to push forward, and everything's going to fall into place eventually. I'm telling you, everything's going to fall into place. Back in 2015, I didn't know what I was going to do. But then things started to fall into place. And I can say when things started falling into place, life started getting better. I started to understand more. Doors started to open up more to me. Like, if you asked me five years ago would I see myself here, I wouldn't be able to. Like, I knew I was going to get somewhere, but I didn't know how or what I was going to do to get to that spot. So I can say that all of this has manifested through the glory of God. And, the steps of a good man is ordered by the Lord. So I continue to pray, so I can continue to stay elevated and continue to put the things in motion that He has for me. So this was one of those episodes where we just spoke positively, spoke openly, had a moment of clarity, a moment of honesty, a moment where we could share it with you guys, and just to be transparent with everyone here, and just to continue to be open with all of those that have supported us throughout the years, all of those that continue to be there for us. We want to continue to be there for you and continue to be there for others as well. We've grown a lot in the past few years. We've grown a lot, from the library to Jeff's spot to John's spot to having our spot eventually, from just doing TV specials, just doing Facebook Live, to being on TV, to being in the 9th season, having Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Soundcloud, Pandora, Apple Podcast, The Real Word Podcast. Check us out, of course. Even the website, www.therealwordministriesinc.org, and just everything that we continue to do. Like, continue to keep us in prayer, continue to, support if you can, continue to help us to grow this brand, because it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of sacrifice. I know some of you might not understand it, and it's okay if you don't fully understand it. Even I don't fully understand it at times. I ain't gonna cap. But it's not something that is easy. It's not something that didn't come with a lot of trials and tribulations. It's something that didn't come with a lot of heartache. But I can't say it's something that's not worth it. It is rewarding. It is something special. It is something that is fulfilling. It's something that will outlive me and has outlived people that even came on the show as a guest. Once again, shout out to Kamel, rest in peace. To Kamel Pops, Mr. Hall, rest in peace, brother. He came on the show, graced the show, did 100K how many times? He's the Jamaican Charleston White. Let's find out. But rest in peace to him. He came, dropped some knowledge on us, helped us a lot with different things. So you never know. And Kamel said one of the biggest blessings was having the audio and video memories that he can share and show his kids when they grow up. And just us having these memories that we can continue to share and have a spot, have a place where we can share these real life emotions, these real life feelings, and these real life testimonies with you. And, just creating that safe spot and creating this portal that has allowed us to go back and forth through time, through dimension, through space, and be able to deliver this message onto you. And for it to be as well received as it has been, that's the true blessing within itself. And from my heart, sincerely, I thank all of you for that. What are some plans moving forward for the Real Word? Well, going forward, we would like to just continue to improve on everything that we have been doing, 10x the whole entire thing. We would like to continue to make more connections, continue to network, continue to find more connections for the things that we want to do and the things that we continue to do. Give out food, continue to give with the food, continue to give out clothes, of course. Continue to do seasonal things, continue to have ongoing services, have a building of our own, provide services to the people, and, just continue to show overall love and appreciation for everyone and everything. I feel like that's the best thing to do moving forward. And, just continue to stay positive, continue working. That's all we could do. Continue to stay positive, continue to work, continue to put in effort. Every day is a new day to be better. And so we will hold ourselves to that standard that we will continue to do so. And no more distractions, no more excuses. We just going to win, and we're going to do it to the best of our ability. We in March right now, still in the first quarter, barely. We're going into the second quarter right now. I urge all of you to January, February, March. Yep. We about to end the first quarter. We about to go into the second quarter. So just stay vigilant and stay focused. All of y'all out there, just time to put in that work, man. Before you know it, that year is gone. That year is done. We can't get it back. So just continue to put in that work, continue to put in that effort, and just continue to stay positive, man. We're going to continue working too. If you know anybody that want to support The Real Word, you can email us, therealwordtv@gmail.com. That's therealwordtv@gmail.com. Or ricardj@therealwordministriesinc.org. And just, drop a comment on Facebook or Instagram, The Real Word Ministries Inc. on Instagram, The Real Word Ministries Inc. on Instagram, The Real Word TV, and The Real Word Ministries on Facebook, or facebook.com/TheRealWord7, the number 7 like Mike Vick. So, I think that's it for me right now. I think I said enough for today. And, I'm about to get up out of here, so let's close out with a word of prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for all that you've done for us. We thank you for this moment in time. We thank you for the ability to be here with you. We thank you for the ability to be here amongst the people. We ask that you continue to look after us. We ask that you cover us with your grace and your mercy and your love and your peace. Lord, I ask for a special benediction and special blessing off of everyone that's watching this video, everyone that has supported The Real Word, everyone that has supported the ministry, that has supported myself as well, and all the things that you have there for me. I ask that you take away what is not for me, that you give what is for me, Lord. And I also ask that you bless everyone that is coming on to us with this platform. And I ask that you continue to bless this platform. And we ask all this not because we're better, but because we're here humbling ourselves before you. Thanks for all this in the name of your Son, Yahshua, as we pray to you, the Holy Father. Amen. So, that's it for me, guys. Thank you, and God bless. Good night.
It's the real word. It's the real